What's going on, guys? Bengal again here, coming back at you with another video. This one is the top 10 free agents. A lot of guys were really close to making the cut. You know, you could bring guys in and out depending on how you value a different position or a player's recent success versus long-term success versus their age. There are many different variables, but to me, this is probably about the top 10 free agents available in this year's free agent class. I also probably will be doing a video, which is the top 1, 2, or 3 free agents at every position. So if you're interested in something like that, let me know down in the comment section below. Hit that follow button or subscribe or whatever if you're new. Quite a pitch. Hit that subscribe button though. And then of course follow me on Twitter, Instagram. We can talk more about football on there, including this free agent class. Without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into it with number 10. At number 10, I have Leonard Williams, defensive tackle for the New York Giants. Is maybe a little bit scheme versatile, as he could play defensive end / defensive tackle in a 3-4. He has played the edge before as well. He had a very, very good season in 2020. 11.5 sacks, career high by about a mile when the Giants made a move for him. Has clearly panned out fairly well, but of course there's a lot more to the defensive tackle, defensive lineman in general, than just sacks. But he did a good job putting pressure on the quarterback. 30 quarterback hits, 14 tackles for loss. He was all over the field, and one of his career years for sure. It isn't necessarily about sacks, but he was very, very good this year, and I think probably the best interior defensive lineman available. Number 9 is going to be Corey Linsley. There are a bunch of really good interior offensive linemen set to hit the free agent market this year, including Brandon Scherff, who unfortunately did not make the cut. Just riding the wave of Corey Linsley, who has been a little bit better of late. All-pro center, arguably the best center in the NFL, and of course, if you want to go off that all-pro selection, could back that up. Corey Linsley's a really good player and an immediate upgrade at center for so many different teams in the league. Really, really good player, and he is at number 9. Number 8 is going to be Justin Simmons, one of the best safeties in the league. You really don't hear enough about him. He's been a very, very good player over the last few years. Had a career high in interceptions this past year with 5, 4 the previous year. There's a lot more to play in defensive back in the NFL than interceptions, to be fair, but those are some numbers you might want to look at. He's posted 90-plus tackles combined over the past 3 years. He's been very, very good. Had his career year last year and then was recognized this year with a Pro Bowl selection. Justin Simmons is very, very good and should be due a lot of money. Age 28 season coming up. He's an immediate upgrade in a lot of secondaries around the league. Number 7 is going to be Aaron Jones. Jones has proven to be one of the best running backs in the NFL, and even though it's a less valuable position than a lot of different positions in the league, Aaron Jones has played the position at a super, super high level. His contact balance is insane, runs with power, so much aggressiveness that you love to see. He's a really aggressive runner, and he's a big power back for someone that's only about 5'10", maybe 210 pounds. If he's even 5'10", might be a little bit shorter than that. Rushed for over 1,000 yards in each of the last 2 seasons, including a league-high 16 touchdowns in 2019. He had 9 this past season, and that's not even including what he factors in to the passing game, with 47 catches last year, 49 in 2019, 5 touchdowns receiving over the past 2 years. He's been a very, very good player, both receiving out of the backfield and as a runner, 5.5 yards per attempt. Aaron Jones, in my opinion, is the best free agent running back. He is very, very good, even though the position's more or less not valuable, if you want to say that, because it's a replaceable position. The position still is super important in the game of football. Players are just more replaceable. I maybe don't see Aaron Jones getting a super max contract. You know what I mean? It's not the NBA. But I think he will get a pretty hefty deal, maybe in the range of $7 to $11 million a year. He's a really good player and is only going into his age 27 season. Number 6 is going to be Chris Godwin. He's one of the best receivers in the league, no bones about it. I know he had a little bit of a struggle in the playoffs thus far. Hasn't been incredible with some drop issues. Did have 110 yards receiving against Green Bay last week, even though, of course, did have a drop or 2 in there. He's been really, really good. At his breakout year in 2019, had 1,300-plus yards receiving, 9 touchdowns in 14 games. Maybe injuries are a very slight concern with him. Only played in 12 games this season. Still posted 840 yards and 7 touchdowns to the tune of 70 yards per game. Came back down a little bit to earth from what he did in 2019, but his catch percentage went up from 71 to 77%. So anytime you're converting targets to catches at the rate that he is, you're going to get paid Chris Godwin is a very, very good player. Super young as well. He's only going into his age 25 season. He'll be due a very, very big contract extension. Back-to-back Tampa Bay Buccaneers as we get LAYONTE David. He's one of the best inside linebackers in the league. He is going into his 31-year-old season, so he is a little bit older. Maybe only expect to see him sign a 3 or probably at the most a 4-year deal. But LAYONTE David is a really, really good player. Seems like he continues to get better with age. He is incredible. I think you could make a really strong argument for him being the most underrated player in the league, as he's only a one-time Pro Bowler and one-time All-Pro, happened in 2 different seasons. But this guy has not made the Pro Bowl or been an All-Pro since 2015, and he's been one of the best linebackers in the league over the last 4 seasons very easily. LAYONTE David is a stud. He is a little bit older, maybe would be a little bit higher on this list, but I think top 5 is a pretty good spot for him. He is a very, very good player, and I think the heart and soul of that Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense. Number 4 is Trent Williams, another guy who is a little bit older, and that's why he probably isn't number 2 on this list. I think he could go as high as that. He's a really, really good player. He's been a Pro Bowler in each of his last 8 seasons or so. He's been very, very good. He is going to be 33, but we've seen tackles go way longer than that into the league. Look at Andrew Whitworth continuing to play at a high level up until age 38, age 39. Trent Williams is one of the best tackles in the league still. And if the 49ers don't bring him back, they're going to have a huge hole at tackle. Trent Williams still probably will get paid a lot of money going into 2021. Number 3 I have is Allen Robinson, one of the best receivers in the league as well. I think definitely about a top 10 guy. He's been unbelievable despite very, very poor quarterback play alongside him. He's gotten 150 targets in his last 2 seasons, posted 1,100 yards in 2019, 1,250 in 2020, 5+ touchdowns a year. These numbers don't sound incredible, but when he's posting 70+ yards a game very easily with terrible quarterback play, this is a big-bodied receiver that can go up and high point the football and get open like he's a little guy. Allen Robinson is a very, very good player, definite top 10 receiver in the league, and definitely a top 5 free agent available in 2021. Number 2 on this list is going to be Shaquille Barrett. Shaq Barrett has been incredible over the past few seasons. Came to Tampa Bay on a really, really low deal for maybe what he was worth. After showing potential in glimpses and flashes, and then showed dominance in 2019, leading the NFL in sacks with 19.5, had 37 quarterback hits as well. He was incredible. Took maybe a little bit of a step back in terms of production in 2020. 8 sacks, still a very good number, 16 quarterback hits, and 11 tackles for loss. Barrett was a very good player and has started to come alive again in the playoffs. He is going to get paid. He's really high on this list because he's an edge rusher, and that's such a valuable position. Play him outside linebacker in a 3-4, get him after the quarterback. Don't know if he really works as a 4-3 defensive end at only 6'2", 250, but this is a guy who I think can set the edge pretty well for his size and certainly get after the quarterback as a speed rusher. He's number 2 on this list for a reason, and it's because edge rusher is so valuable, and he is the best one available this season. And that leaves number 1 as Dak Prescott. Given him a lot of crap, whether it's in jest or not, over the past few years. But Dak Prescott, make no bones about it, is a top 10 quarterback. He is better than Carson Wentz. Thought for a little while that he was not. I think for a little while that was true as well. But certainly we've seen it. Dak Prescott is a top 10 quarterback in the league. The Cowboys' offense is not nearly as good without him. He's a guy who can definitely make all the throws nowadays. There was a while where he couldn't, but he continues to get better and better and better every year. Offers a lot of mobility as well. You worry about him being injured in 2020. Kind of a big loss, but he started all 16 games the previous 4 seasons of his career. Dak Prescott is the number 1 free agent available. Quarterback is a super valuable position, and any time that you can get a top 10 quarterback, they got to be very, very high on this list, and that's why he's coming in at number 1. I'm sure many of you are going to disagree with me on most of this list. You're going to be wondering, where's Kenny Golladay? Where's Alejandro Villanueva, Brandon Scherf, Joe Tooney? I don't know. The beast out of Charlotte, Larry Ogunjobi. Didn't include Von Miller. He's got a team option. A lot of good edge rushers. Bud Dupree, I think, will get some attention. Yannick Ngakoue, Jadeveon Clowney. Who else? Matt Milano was quite good. No cornerbacks making the list. I think John Johnson's another good safety that's available. Marcus Williams as well. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Who would I miss out on? It was tough to squeeze 10 guys in here. I think a lot of these guys might even be interchangeable. But of course, let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and I will see you in the next one. Take it easy.
I hit it at the park, Ben Bones. See me high step to the end zone. My life like a game, Nintendo. Playing with the best, let them know. Get off the track, the train's coming through. Yeah, promise you get in my way, then you best believe I'ma just run over you. Yeah, yeah. I'ma turn taking it back to the house. Defensive joke, I'm laughing so loud. Speedbird's good.